Goro, what's going on? How you doing? Skyward SM, what's going on? How y'all doing? Welcome back, welcome back. The last time we were here, we actually, we started up case 3. We didn't get to finish it because I expected there to be a, like a midway stopping point. Because case 2 we stopped in the middle of because of internet reasons, but we're here. We're doing the finale of episode 3. So with that, just a short recap. As we made our way to London, we approached the what was his name? Lord Chief Justice Strongheart, right? And he said, okay, well, you're not the guy we were expecting, but I'll let you stay if you can prove yourself as a lawyer. There's a murder case going on. The murderer is facing, or the suspect is facing capital punishment if he gets a guilty verdict. So your job is to prove his innocence. And I've been making headway on the case, right? We've kind of disproved a little bit of the witness testimony. We're facing off against the Reaper of the Old Bailey Courts, Mr. Baron Van Zeeks. And as it stands thus far, we've ended up swaying the jury's opinion, at least for the time being. So let's go ahead and see where we stand right now. Here we go. So let me see. Does it show the full text before this? Okay. So we just recently resumed court. So obviously the judge has asked if the defendant has been listening to the discourse of the day. Be sure I have, my lord. There are now 2 matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Egad, no! It's not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. It's Baroque Van Zeeks. I thought it was Baron. Did I not read Baron? Damn. Well, we got broke niggas and we got Baroque niggas. Okay. I don't know. I like the meme. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tells you all, or do I keep me mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with me and myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... What? Okay, so... our fucking client helped the, potential actual murderer get away, so that's fun. No, Magnus McGilded, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm I'm sure you'll be wanting to know I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Well... what is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Oh, this would have been a perfect... Oh, okay. This would have been an amazing time to have stopped the stream yesterday, or the other day. Damn it. Come on. We were 8 minutes from an amazing cliffhanger. Not even 8 minutes, because I spent some time recapping. Ah, come on. We would have had a perfect stopping point. 18th of February, 12:52 p.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Miss Usato. I was told it was an advanced form of a smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. Not another one. No, not another 15-year-old girl. She did it. Damn it, she did it. I don't believe her. Young girl. Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There's so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? What was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. Well, what's that? The 20 pence. Oh, according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. So either either Beppo is lying or that girl was a complete stowaway that nobody could have seen. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Miss Usada. Yes. February 18th, 1 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Assume that's our girl. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilden. Look. She must have been the one who caused a disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilden. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks, my lord, I do believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier? It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, a sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery. But she was caught. And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? Don't know how much this will be useful to you, but there's an option in the settings called Text Skip that will display all the text in a given line at once. I mean, it's not like I'm preventing myself from reading the full thing. Usually all the text pops up before I finish reading the line anyways. But thank you though, Exalted. What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilden? I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why it is that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Sounds like testimony time. There we go. You'll explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. I assume we're gonna have like a reaction here from the girl. He's gonna be talking about what happened and she's gonna, like, jump or something. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Witness testimony. Alright, here we go. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then Begora, a loud thud and wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. That didn't really give us too much information. Maybe... I assume that I'm just gonna have to press, like, a lot of shit here. The whole thing. Remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct? As exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the fifth passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Alright. the back seat in the omnibus and promptly not at all. So, oh, not present, excuse me. So you're saying that you slept through all of that. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was not one on the roof. No one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were. I see. Aye, and that's why I took the backside as I did. It is the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. Is how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed was sitting. I said, it is the most comfortable and where I feel the most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. Alright. So he was the... Okay, so it seems like we might have to press all 5 of these, just because it seems that, like... Can we go back? We should be able to go back, right? Oh, nope. Well, shit. Oh, we can. I just gotta scroll up. Okay. Hold it! A loud thud, you say? And a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Maelson falling to the floor having been stabbed? Well now, you remember I was asleep at the time. I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me up, I opened my eyes. There wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, no, my lord. It was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. Oh, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes. So yeah, it seems like she was put in the, Well, hold on, because if he was sitting on the seat, she like, because you have to lift the chair up, right? You have to lift, like, the seat part of the seat up, right? To put stuff inside. So either he had to have been moved, or he wasn't sitting on that seat in the first place. Alright, so let's press this. You sat him up. The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. What's going on, Ayame? How you doing? What the fuck is that ugly motherfucker? This hat is fine. Come on. This hat isn't bad. Come on. Come on. Come on. You wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? It's common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. Now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with the trouble. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had a mind to find out whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores. Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self just do the same? Yeah. scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from. Alright, and we'll have to press on that too. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court there was no one else in the carriage except for yourself and the victim. Oh, I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well, now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious! Under your backside. Yeah, so she was inside the seat. And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus for ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. So we already seen that, right? We already inspected the omnibus. And that's when I found her. Right? Hold it! You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, your heart nearly stopped beating in me chest. You're really overreacting this. Or overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there, and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite. That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there. You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir. Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with a knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGillicuddy. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason? Aye, me lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl. After that, of course, with a scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here? A petty thief? Is it really so hard to believe? Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Oh. How dare you? What is the meaning of this? The girl, she's gone. Open your eyes. I'm over here. Good gracious, how? What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on. That's what's in your heads, isn't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast... This is your public reminder to beat your kids. Look, knives are for cowards. The only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, all right. Maybe not in your eyes, but I got a pride in what I do. She's probably an orphan. I'm pro bono in most situations. She came to court strapped, of course. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns amongst weapons for thugs? Dog, it sound like the fucking hammer just cocked on it. Come on, man. Oh, this? This was in a bag I lifted the other day, down where they keep the four-wheel drags. Is this fucking Sherlock's? This has to be Sherlock's. Fuck, did it twice. Herlock's, damn it. This is Mr. Sholmes, isn't it? It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Do not wave the thing in my direction again. So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question. It's alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. Just like the Irishman says. Oh. Oh, she's supposed to have like a Cockney accent. Oh. That would explain the in it. Court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in the case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. We will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. Alright, if I have to. Alright, here we go. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang, nearly jumped out me skin I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. It did help me get away, mind. Well, I mean, you're here now, like, the real question is, why did she come to the courtroom? Because there's like a big, like, why the fuck would you be here in this situation question. That you can get caught. Lestrade, like Inspector Lestrade's kid, potentially. I feel like they're not exactly one-to-one on the references, but very possible. Oh shit, that was it. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilbert. Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath this seat, I presume? Yes. It does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration. So you see, that's why I let the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her in there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of the less fortunate. What a perfect gentleman. My lord, this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. We got him. We got him. Let's go! That's 5. The only person that's not on our side yet is the snot. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Get everybody? We got everybody! Let's go! To the jury, it's the same fucking people. Well, I mean, it's the same trial, so... Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning towards a verdict of not guilty. Mr. Naruhodo, this... well, it must mean... It must mean what? That we're victorious. I don't know about that. We still haven't solved the case. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Hey, yo. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray, do forgive the discourtesy. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices, where evidence and reasoning should be paramount. Emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's last statement gives us clear insight onto his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think that Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Now, I was about to say, we also, when we looked into it earlier, there were boxes and like a suitcase in there. The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilded's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the under-seat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks? Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? Well, it wasn't empty. Really don't know if giving this an answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. but as far as I remember at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Are you sure, Counsel? Ah, you whist. What are you saying now, you daft daw? I thought you were on my side here. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? Because it's the truth? I don't know what you want from me here. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Respect earned! Respect earned! Let's go! Interesting. What's going on, Kev? How you doing? She's not altogether pleasing, fella. Simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interest here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing, and not altogether reliable. Well, the court must reconsider the facts. Ayame with a gift over to Thornberry Kev as well. Kev, if you are still here, please be sure to thank Ayame for the generosity. Welcome back to the family as always, and thank you very much, Ayame. Oh, the court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. I think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken. Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. Well, I mean, because we have a fucking the guild master of the coachman, right? So if we lied, we'd look like shit, and Mr. Lord Van Zeeks would probably not like us. The old rules state the omnibus should be properly and fully equipped at all times, though it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. That money London fleecer and that pick purser lied. Well, can you check it again? What, the cab? Yeah, I can check the omnibus one more time. Go inside. Yeah, it's empty. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. So, if you didn't examine that, I don't think we looked at the blood stain before, too. On the ground, at least. That's blood, isn't it? Kuro, that's the whole point. No, Kuro, Kuro, that's the point of the, that's what they were talking, that's what they were, Kuro, that's the entire point of this. Kuro, that was, is something wrong? Oh, it's just, well, this bloodstain is so obvious, that's all. Yet Van Zeeks had made no mention of it. Suppose that does seem a little strange. But you didn't know that? Here, when we get back to the court, we'll talk about this. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? They showed it was empty. When we examined it with the judge, right? Let me see if I can scroll back to it. Damn, it's pretty far back. I don't remember that blood stain on the floor. I don't remember examining it. I don't know if it was there or not. I assume it had to have been there, right? But the thing, Kiora, was when we inspected it earlier, like at the very beginning of the case, it was full, right? But when Mr. McGilded was telling the story and giving his testimony on how Miss Lestrade was inside the compartment, when we examined it, it was empty. So I remember it being filled, right? And now it's empty. And Van Zeeks points that out, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's right. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Oh, no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Quite so. I must concur here. Calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted, almost beyond recognition. Keeper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Here we go. All right. So...
Hold it!
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run. Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few baba? That's the rum idea, isn't it? I suppose she means there's no point in spending money to make money. That actually makes sense. Who is this? This is, check the VOD, because I'm not explaining it. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. We're paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. And one little scapegrace riding for free. Red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before its last run, I see. Or see. That's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach. No. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report found by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all the stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. It would seem we reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue. Time, yeah.
Hold it!
Yeah, she's saying she was under the seat. That she was hiding under the seat that McGilded was already inside of, and if it was pitch black, she couldn't have seen the guy get stabbed, right? Yeah, she's very recent. She's from this stream, but I mean, they're explaining who she is, like, on screen. She's a pickpocket that was hiding away under the seat. I think that's very clear. Yeah. A waste of time, and why is it? Most nights I'm on my own in the God permit, at least at some time of the night. I don't know why I hit E instead of space. I beg your pardon? Did you say God permit? Oh yeah, well that's what my kind called it. You say the omnibus, I suppose. The point is that any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night. This cove was sat on me seat from the start. He didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch, I was totally stuck. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find the child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. I tell you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Hold it! Yeah. About that. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all. Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other ones, see? But most of the time the passengers plant themselves on the opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push up the cushion to peek out. I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages. Who's bringing me? Oh, it's for Japan time. Whoops. There's only one place to hide in them carriages, so it's Obstin's choice. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. What's going on, Don? How you doing? Anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to stick it out under there. Nothing else for it. After a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of me skin. I did, and the scream just came out. Hold it! When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. Don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream, involuntarily. That's right. And I felt the cushion over me had to get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. What's going on, Big Specs? How you doing? Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? Girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butcher's while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke, but had fallen onto the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilded's account, of course. But then the fella just suddenly turns around and looks right at me. He sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should have never have risked looking. Alright. Hold it! Didn't really get too much from this. And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. Wait. if the... Okay, so confusion here, because if the carriage lurched, right, he would have fallen over to his right, right? Onto her if she was sitting on his right. Both my hands got covered in blood. Made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while. Is that correct? Asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume. Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. And the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under this seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. One brief shining moment, yes. It's clear they're all still very unsure. Well, yeah, pressing is all... Because the thing with Ace Attorney and testimonies is that people will always give, like, bare minimum information. It's like, alright, so here's what happened. I was inside the seat. I heard a thud. There was a scream. Alright, when did you get in the compartment? What did you do, or when the thud happened, you just randomly screamed? Alright, and then and you got found, how did he find you, right? You always have to press for more details, and then when you get those more details, they usually lead to something slipping up. Which is actually, I think, like, how that's supposed to, like, almost how it works in, like, real court as well, right? Like, people will only want to tell, like, specific, like, bits and pieces of their recollection, and then it's like, oh, well, because we weren't there, you have to tell us exactly what happened, right? People need to be specific, right? So this game taking more opportunities to give you to press everything, right? I think I've had to ask about more testimonies or more specific lines in the testimonies than the previous couple cases before in other games, I mean. I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. I think you're right. I have this niggling feeling something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, okay. Like, I really want to be able to talk about this, because if she couldn't see, then she just... This means that she just screamed because of the noise, right? But...
Well, no.
Wait, did he... He didn't do that before, did he? Did I completely fucking miss this?
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. It was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. That I never liked, though, pressing a statement twice after you got new information from other statements. I mean, yeah, that, like... That was a little bit weird. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Because if it's pitch black in there and she doesn't like being in there, why would she willingly start putting herself in there? It just doesn't make sense to me. I find that the darkness seems to make everything you see, everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? I get why they do that, but they could probably just take a mechanic where you take parts of a testimony and use it as some kind of evidence. Yeah. I think that would be good. The jury system already kind of does that. How it, like, you have to contrast, like, their conclusions about the case at the moment, right? The summation examination, excuse me, the summationization, as I'm calling it. Or examination, excuse me. So, with that, like, getting the new piece of evidence that was McGilded reacting there, I don't know, it's cool. I really hope that doesn't happen again, where I have to go through the entire testimony pressing each line, and then, oh, you had to press on this specific line. I really hope that doesn't come up too many times. Not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Neighbors, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yeah. What should we make of that last statement of hers? I mean, if he was snoring, right, he couldn't have heard the thud. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is profoundly important. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern mind, Counsel. Nevertheless, racism. Take a shot. Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move. All you could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time? Since the moment you hid yourself? We're taking shots for racism too? That's part of the game. Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then when I saw this swell getting on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me. Mr. McGill had sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah. Would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see. But would he? Not likely. Even though he stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? Well, it doesn't add up. The fact that he was snoring. I think at least they toned down the racism compared to the fan translation. Whew. I don't know if I would have been able to play the fan translation on stream then. I'm glad this is out now. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I had feared. So Van Zeeks realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence. Or some complicit party's name in the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. Think, Ryunosuke, think. You are going to outlive every... There's something else she should have heard. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. The victim, right? Oh, there he is. I was like fucking looking for him.
Take that!
What's going on, Abe? How you doing? Thrice fired Mason? Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus.
Welcome to the family, son.
Isaiah with the gift over to Big Specs. I didn't even see Isaiah typing here. But thank you very much, Isaiah. Welcome back to the family, Big Specs. I don't even know if Big is here right now. But if you are, go ahead and thank Isaiah for the generosity. Welcome back to the family. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person aboard the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person aboard the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. But it was. Not a soul in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. Eventually run out of mispronunciations? Not likely, Isaiah. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. I saw him get on, remember, through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onwards journey. During which time you did not hear the door opening or closing at all. Ah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zeeks, as knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem that words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You've demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths and nothing more. Did Van Zeeks do the leg thing already? He did do the leg thing. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Oh! Granny, no! She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman! I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious? I don't know that word. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. I gotta say though, all these people got impeccable aim. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. The only person that they don't have is the maid, right? Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing. What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? This is carnage, it's perfect. Jury number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going, I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
I was about to say the shit didn't change. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed the critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entire new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir. What do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate your attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. IDK, what an Amadan? I don't know what it is. I've never heard that before. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in this stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. It's an idiot? It's an Irish insult? Oh boy. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be in the carriage. You might have jumped in through the skylight, maybe? Because the first option implies that Mr. McGilded's lying. This option has to have the door open. I assume the skylight, right? What's going on, Equinox? How you doing? If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
And the thud could have been him falling from the roof. Right? Wouldn't that make noise going in there? Yeah, it would make a thud. Remember, Lestrade couldn't see inside to the cabin, and McGilded was sleeping. So the only option seems to be that he was on the roof, got killed on the roof, and dropped in through the skylight, right? So then let me go ahead. That looks like an opening. It looks like a slide. There's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. Yeah, we heard this before. But let's... Does it look like it opens from the inside? I remember looking up, but does it like swing open, or does... Looks like it just might open up, right? Yeah, so I assume then that he was killed on top, dropped in. So it's lady first, right? Or somebody fucking has impeccable aim and threw a knife at him, right? Those are the only two options I see. I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no other entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
No, that's wrong! But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. There's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin? Bingo bango, that has to be lined up, right?
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me at a loss for words. However,
Objection!
the skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. Each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses described? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. But gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded. Be sure now, the two fellas were sat on the roof that testified afore. Said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... It's a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Well, oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... Hold it. They're back! So what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter, he said. You rotter! What are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I have a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest. I protest in the strongest terms possible. That's right. I protest too. And what about you, you rotten scoundrel? Mad Hatter, one could say, yeah. This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. This is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know? My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zieks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, this is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. You have to see this matter through now, one way or another. There's filth and rubbish in our midst. We must dispose of it at once. You heard the people. What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord? You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony. In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Hey, she bad. Yoshi 16? Never mind. I take it back. She's not bad. Oh, the fucking classic. I love it. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Shooting the accusation. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything happened while we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Don't think she goes to school? Well, we're here on a school trip. Yeah, but it's never stated that she goes to school. She might just be homeschooled. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't have possibly opened it. Were you so sure the victim fell through the skylight? Where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. Did you forget one is just facing forward? That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down to if the two of you were in collusion with one another.
What?
Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common deal. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I do the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. Trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Boss examination. I didn't call yet. Pony wanted to play Halo later today, but I don't know if they're still wanting to do that. Alright, so... once again, 5 statements. I don't think... in any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. I mean, he was wearing one of, First's hats, right? Oh, hold on.
Hold it!
So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, Loom, no! Not once, never! He never met the man before, he said never! And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us had the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. To the gentlemen? Also,
Excuse me.
what's going on there, McGilded? Mr. McGilded. Yes, counsel. What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay. It has been too long, so it has. Oh yeah, no. Because he said to the gentleman in the cabin. He obviously was in his ledger. I'm not very much mistaken. I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date. I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well, now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another. I love excuse me. Excuse me is good. Excuse me is good. Yes is a yes, I think could be changed. Young Mr. First? Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm just an apprentice, you understand. Fan translation, you sir? I think sir could have worked. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as Thrice-Fired Mason. Ah. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence afore me, lord. Hmm? Oh, this you mean? I can't help but thinking the poor fella's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh! That's one of my hats! Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I'd wager who could have had a wee quarrel over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victims, you see. I rest my case. Not a good point to rest. Might want to make a few more good statements. Because you're not done. Little weasel! Ugh. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGilded certainly has been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings. Skylight was shut the entire time. Couldn't have possibly have opened it. Well,
Hold it!
I thought we were going to get somewhere off that. I didn't think we were going to go back to testimony. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is. Of course, a fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through. Still in all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand? No, you hold on in there a minute, sir. The size of the ting means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind. Loudly. I shocked myself with it, as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just meant to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see? But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as a rogue, I did. As rouge, excuse me. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin of shame. But from the top, also, Miss Lestrade, first time you've been hyped up during this testimony. You have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade. Miss Lestrade. It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? Don't reload, please. No, please. All them skylights open dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I can't do it from inside, you mug. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyways, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck? Bailiff? Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Yeah, she stole it from someone, in air quotes. Oh, my hat! See? Order, order, order! So it appears the street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens and from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo, was it clarified already who she stole it from? I mean, she said she picked it up from one of the bags and it has a very similar design and color scheme as somebody else we've met already. So, and it's a fucking gun that sprays like smoke, which we saw somebody have something like that in the previous chapter. So my money is going on Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This could be the clue we're looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. I'm gonna tell me twice. The skylight was fashioned shut before. But now the catch has been undone, we should be able to open it. Oh, hey. Oh, come on. Alright. But... Okay, the blood. The blood, man, the blood. Do I have to fucking go inside? Yeah, scene of the murder. Yeah. It does open very wide, doesn't it? I didn't have to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look, just here. Just look at this. That's, without question, it's blood. Could there be a blood stain there? Surely it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? Alright. So let's, Alright. So, got that. Now I assume I need to present it on the next thing. Yeah, here we go. Because I remember him saying something about proof.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom.
What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't! I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you! It's impossible! Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence that which you would allude? I figured because I changed the description of the item, point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. I mean... Yes, it does open. Oh, it's fucking. Come on. Yeah. Come on. All right, let me present the blood. I forgot that I had to press R. I didn't realize I would examine it. Makes me beg the question why I can do it in the court record if I can do the same thing in here.
Got it!
By Jupiter! Is that blood?
This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my!
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. Just saw the new SF5 trailer. What was in the trailer? I know the only thing Street Fighter related I've seen on my timeline was this morning. I saw the announcement from, or not like this morning, this afternoon, I saw the announcement of Fortnite adding 2 new Street Fighter characters. So,
Hold it!
What? The blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin.
it only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight? Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep in mind the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But... There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really had fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the 2 seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is.
What? No!
But it can't be! It's all... lies!
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is a clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can. Yes, sir. It's clear to me now whether the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. Or where the filthy. Your accent for McGilded is amazing. Don't give me too much credit. I'm bullshitting my way through that one. Oh, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. I won't spoil, but it's pretty cool. I hope it's at least something fun, right? Because 5 is in a state where I just need something cool. Just something, you know? Oh no. Oh, I'm seeing it. Who the fuck is that? Well, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is Luke? I'll ask so nobody else has to. Someone give an actual explanation to who this is. Brand new character to the universe. Okay, fuck off. Woo! Okay.
On 3 then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh! And what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? Bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. It wasn't there this morning, was it? We couldn't open it before, though. This one we wouldn't have known. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason.
That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
Personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can say with absolute certainty, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least not until this trial began.
But
Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. All while this court has been in session.
that's unfortunate. What's a palaver? I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to the public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Old Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in great many affairs of a dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved is investigated, you adapt to the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that even mean?
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing the witness. Toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks.
This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel?
Oh. No. I think it's fair to say that this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if yous will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? So how could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. Omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court has been in session.
My learned friend.
Well, I mean, except for that, surprise recess. Yeah, he doesn't drink the wine, he smells it.
Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words.
As you wish. Someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial. If you're asking me, I think. Well, I mean, it could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggest. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Gracious! Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit?
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Ms. Gina Lestrade. Yeah, we got this.
courtroom was filled with smoke. Everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Whoops.
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten, feckless gouger?
Feckless gouger?
You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. A plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized into relation of the omnibus. Inconsistencies, such as... Start with the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. You think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus?
Well, a little bit.
My lord.
Yes, counsel?
There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, Mr. McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification.
This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. No idea what's the truth and what's deception. Am I supposed to believe here?
So if the blood on the excuse me, if the blood on the hatch wasn't there before, then I'm also thinking that the blood on the floor wasn't there before, because I don't remember seeing it, right? I remember only seeing the one blood stain on the seat. Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? I'm glad they moved the text box. That's very nice of them.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, we'd certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom.
Lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel.
Well said. Although, as an advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake.
This trial is over.
Mr. McGilded.
I've done everything I could possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now.
But you're the defendant.
'Tis over, I tell you. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, 'tis all a nonsense. Facts are what count, and the fact is, the bloodstain is there, now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord?
I must concur with the defendant. The uniform recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position?
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to by adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality? Things stand at the moment, it would seem Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yeah. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Yes, my lord. The defense believes... Well, me personally, I believe the defendant could be guilty. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence.
What are you saying, man?
Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent.
Gracious me! Order, order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question. Are you of sound mind?
Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. What? I must say I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? 'Tis just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Not more than a formality. Is he good?
I really don't know what to make of all of this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship will be fuming. The unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, I said. Stinking rich are always guilty of something.
Mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us that lovely pop. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection.
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zeeks, my lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. How the fuck does that work? We had to vacate the courtroom and somebody fucked with the omnibus. How is that his fault? My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection.
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair! The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer a judgment. What? Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? Is the law of the land, my good man? If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief! You have more to say to me, have you? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. Well, I mean, that's... Don't throw the confetti. No, 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 damn it. Not the fireworks. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. The first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. McGilded seems shady? No, he's an upstanding gentleman. A loan shark would never be shady. 18th of February, 5:14 p.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. It was certainly a long trial. Ah, yeah, it was. First ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. Heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Mr. Sato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. Trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? Don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to attain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. Carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Mr. McGilded. And the girl is with him, too. What is our relationship with Susato? Yeah, she was, she's a judicial assistant that was supposed to be here with Kazuma, but because Kazuma got smoked, she's here with us now. She's essentially our Maya, yeah. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure he must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yeah, definitely. I heard it was a sight to behold and had to be sure it was. And I have you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as under your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? Must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Ah, 'tis water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, having your name cleared. Nothing's resolved. There is only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye! You've all seen that I didn't do that odious and absent deed. It is grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters into hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no. I couldn't possibly accept that much. Ah, be whist. You're a humble people, are you, from the East? Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into court. To the courtroom? What's this, officer? It's sooner than I was led to believe. Hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry? What inspection? You're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. You're going to examine it again? Now? This is so weird. Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I be doing my best to help where I can. It's a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying in Great Britain. And there he goes. Man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Please no. Don't move. Or as I want to say, get a move on, she really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry? I hate all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Oh, I thought it was going to be Sherlock. Naughty running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? Taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Hey, yo. Said fuck, I did. God damn it. But why does she just have a fucking bazooka? Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. Okay. Okay. Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be enshrouded in smoke, though? At all? I just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing onto a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. You what? A what's it now? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my lab. What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What, you mean say sorry? Must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants to do is not get shot by that massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. So sorry for all the fuss. We don't even know who that is. She was a lively one. Oh, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yeah, you're right, but where to? Oh, I had time to find a place to stay. No sooner than we had arrived in London than we were to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. At this late hour of the day, we're afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If worst comes to the worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room. Or mansion. So, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Oh.
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there. Oh. Oh. This can't be.
And that's the end of chapter 3. And I believe that's all we're going to do for today. I did just want to get this finished up. I didn't anticipate moving on to chapter 4 today, just because there was a lot of stuff going on with me. But I think that's all we're going to do for today right now. Tomorrow we are going to be doing more Genshin, and then on on Thursday, and tomorrow's going to be a slightly earlier stream because we plan on doing Tito's D&D campaign. And that was actually, for what it's worth, a third case that I don't think had third case syndrome, right? It was definitely a good case. It just didn't have a very stable conclusion because it seems to lead into case 4, which I had an issue with, namely in Danganronpa, case 5's leading into case 6. So it seems that this case, what's the word? This case 3 seems to lead into case 4, which is fine and prevents the case 3 from being bad in and of itself in a vacuum. So with that said, I'd like to thank you all very much for coming out. Do want to give a shout out to Ayame with the gift over to Kev, and Aiza for the gift over to Big Specs. But with that said, that's going to do it for me for today. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be an earlier stream for Genshin or 14, and then on Thursday we will be picking up with case 4. But until then, thank you all very much for coming out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and until then, peace.